went out to celebrate. I convinced myself I was fine to drive. I told myself I was only going a short distance home. Welcome to Phoenix Fortis, where stories of resilience, hope, and redemption take flight. I'm your host, Diane, and today's letter comes to us from Elijah, a man whose life was forever altered by a single decision: driving under the influence. In one devastating moment, he didn't just destroy a young life, he also shattered his own future. Elijah's story is a powerful journey through guilt, grief, and the long, often painful path toward redemption. It's about the loneliness of consequence and the quiet, unexpected grace of starting over. This isn't a story about excusing the past. It's about what we choose to do after the wreckage. Here is Elijah's letter. Dear Diane, I never thought one night could destroy 2 lives, but it did. I've learned that honesty is the only path forward. So here goes. I was 27, fresh out of college, and I just landed a major promotion at my first real job. I felt on top of the world. That night, my coworkers and I went out to celebrate. We had a few drinks, maybe more than a few. I convinced myself I was fine to drive. Told myself it was just a short distance home. I remember the flashing lights of the intersection, but not the red. Not until it was too late. I hit another car head-on. The driver, a young woman, died at the scene. I was arrested, charged with vehicular homicide, and eventually sentenced to prison. The world I had just built collapsed. I lost everything. My job, of course. My wife filed for divorce and took our daughter. She was only a toddler at the time. And when I got out of prison, I was marked. No one wanted to hire me. The shame, the guilt, it became a physical weight. I started drinking again, harder than before. It didn't take long to lose my apartment, then my car, then I ended up on the streets. Another faceless man sleeping in a shelter, trying not to be seen. And every day, I woke up with the memory of that night, that red light, that life I took. Then, one winter evening, a church volunteer named Sarah approached me at the shelter. She was kind, gentle, never judged, just offered conversation, and one day, an invitation to a men's group she helped run. A recovery meeting. I scoffed. What could they possibly understand? But she kept showing up, kept offering a smile, a quiet word. Eventually, I was desperate enough to try anything. I went, sat in the back, silent, just listened. These men talked about addiction, regret, failure, and somehow their pain echoed mine. Something shifted. It wasn't about earning forgiveness, not from them, not from God, not even from myself. It was about finally seeing that I wasn't the only one trying to carry a burden too heavy for one person, and that maybe it didn't have to crush me. I got sober, and I've stayed sober. Finding work with a felony record wasn't easy, so I taught myself digital design. Started freelancing online. It wasn't much at first, but it gave me a purpose, something beyond just surviving. Then a friend said, "You should share your story." That idea terrified me, but I did it anyway. I started a social media channel. I talk about what happened, about the dangers of drinking and driving, about how one night, one decision can ripple outward in ways you never imagined. It's not about absolution. It's about accountability and prevention. If my story stops just one person from making the choice I did, then maybe something good can grow out of the worst thing I've ever done. I haven't reconnected with my daughter, not yet. That's a bridge I still hope to cross when the time is right, if it ever is. But I'm healing. I'm building a life that's still marked by the past, but driven by a desire to do good with what's left. It's an ongoing process, a daily choice. I don't know if I'll ever feel like I've earned peace, but I've learned that peace doesn't always come all at once. Sometimes it comes in pieces, and I'm learning to hold on to each one. Thank you for letting me share this, Diane. Elijah. Elijah, thank you. Thank you for the raw honesty of your letter. Your story is devastating, a true testament to the catastrophic consequences of a single, reckless choice. But it also speaks volumes about the quiet courage it takes to face your worst moment head on and still choose to rise, still choose to rebuild. It's not easy to share a story like yours. There's no neat ending, no easy redemption arc. And yet, you opened your heart to us. You allowed us to see both the wreckage and the rebuilding. That takes a strength most people can't begin to imagine. And I want to say, I see you. I hear you. And I am so grateful for the path you've chosen, not just for yourself, but for everyone you now reach through your voice and your example. Here's a hard truth. You can't undo the worst thing you've ever done, but you can decide every day what kind of person you'll be because of it. That choice matters, even when it's quiet, even when no one's watching. Your journey reminds us that guilt, when channeled with purpose, can become a powerful compass, one that doesn't point us backward, but forward, towards service, accountability, and growth. Healing doesn't always come through forgiveness from others. Sometimes it begins with the quiet, daily choice to become someone better than we were, to live a life shaped not by what we've done, but by what we choose to do next. Your vulnerability and your willingness to use your voice to help others, that is a true act of service. Thank you for reminding us that even after the wreckage, there is still a road ahead. If Elijah's story resonated with you, if you've ever made a mistake that felt too big to come back from, or if you've found healing through accountability, through service, or through the sheer grit of rebuilding, we want to hear from you. Phoenix Fortis is a space for these journeys, these quiet acts of courage, these hard-won truths. Please consider sharing your own letter with us. Your story might be the very one someone else needs to hear. And if you're carrying shame, please remember there is always a way forward, even after the wreckage, even after the fall. Life can still be lived with purpose. And most of all, you are not alone, not in your regret, not in your rebuilding, not in your hope. There is still room for you here. To all our listeners, thank you for being part of the Phoenix Fortis community. If this episode moved you or made you feel a little less alone, we'd be honored if you'd take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you know someone who needs this story, share it with them. It helps more people discover these voices, and it helps us keep telling them. Every listen, every share, every comment, it's not just support, it's a signal, a reminder that these stories matter, that your story matters. Phoenix Fortis was built for moments like these, for the quiet, unseen battles we all face, and for the strength it takes to keep going. This has been Phoenix Fortis, where stories of resilience, hope, and redemption take flight. I'm Diane, and we'll be back soon with another story about the quiet strength it takes to keep going when the road gets hard. Until then, take care of each other, take care of yourselves, And if you'd like more from Diane's Heart Truths, don't miss our new Phoenix Fortis shorts, brief reflections on the moments that shape us. And as always, keep rising.